Ladies and gentlemen, the bounce continues. Bitcoin went downwards to $49,000, breaking below many, many macro indicators. Okay, the damage that we did there cannot be repaired, and it has not been repaired at this point because it's damage that was done to the certainty we had about traditional markets, which has now been plunged into uncertainty. We don't know what the Federal Reserve is going to do, just to briefly summarize the problem here. We don't know if we're going to be entering a recession. We don't know if we're going to be entering a period of printing and inflation. And we don't know if they're going to print their way out of the problem, essentially. There's mixed flags everywhere. Unemployment's a mixed flag. The charts themselves is a mixed flag. What we do know now is that we've had unemployment claims come in quite bullish, and this has led Bitcoin and the markets in general to see a renewed period of strength. However, it's certainly not over by any means. The amount of damage we've done to these structures means it's not very easy to clean up the damage. And it's actually not very clear when that damage will be reversed. You know, at what point in the chart do we need to cross for that damage to be reversed? It's not very clear. Well, one of the levels that I've looked at the entire time is 60K. And so it's definitely clear that at the very minimum, we need to get over 60K. And that's at the very minimum, right? That's not the be all end all by any means. So we are approaching that level now, and we'll look into it today. Guys, before we get into it, if you want to get, just look at the screen here. If you want to get 5,500 USDT, I've highlighted it there on the screen. This is real. 5,500 USDT in sign up rewards, just for signing up to an exchange. Use my referral link down below and sign up to Bitunix, okay? If you want 4,000, sign up to BingX. You can gain those rewards. They are possible to win. If you don't win them, you will get a guaranteed 15% trading fee discount on every single buy and sell you make on either of these exchanges for life, okay? So either way, you're getting a good deal there. And these exchanges, by the way, are handpicked by myself. I use them both personally. They've both never been hacked before. They're both very low in trading fees. And they're both global non-KYC. So anyone watching this video from anywhere in the world can sign up. Go ahead and do that. The links are down below. Get those bonuses, get those discounts, and get on a good exchange. Help the channel in the meantime as well. Links are down below. Let's get into it. Right. So S&P 500, traditional markets in general, macro economy, that's what led to the drop in the markets that we saw over the last week. That's the sole reason. It had nothing to do with Bitcoin. Bitcoin was fine. It was traditional markets in general. And therefore, seeing as traditional markets led to the drop, and seeing as traditional markets plunged us into this uncertainty, it is only traditional markets that can lead us out of the uncertainty. That's why I'm not concerned about what Bitcoin's doing right now. I will be looking into it in this video, but I'm not overly concerned. I don't really care where Bitcoin goes. As long as the uncertainty is still there in traditional markets, I know that Bitcoin can flip just like that, right? It's already done it. I mean, it's already up, 10,000 or nearly 11,000 USD from just a few days ago. And, before that point, it flipped just like that and dropped downwards nearly 30% in a matter of 7 days. So what we know right now is that Bitcoin is not respecting TA. It's respecting TA to a certain extent, because at the end of the day, it was a support level that you can see on the chart very clearly, right? Between 49 and 47K that held. It was a support line that you can see very clearly that held. TA always works. It's not accurate to say that TA doesn't work anymore in any scenario. TA always works, right? But the problem is, during periods like this, the probabilities that generally are consistent with TA are skewed massively to the point in which it's more gambling than it is trading. Right, so this is a period of time where that's still the case. It's still the case that it's more gambling than it is trading, because we know that any shift in the macro environment, any shift in what the Federal Reserve is likely to do, whether they force a recession or whether they print money to get us out of this problem, any shift in the probabilities there will lead to a shift in the markets, regardless of what TA structures suggest. So resistance and support zones will still work, but the patterns you see, like a descending wedge, might break to the downside. Ascending triangle might break to the downside, right? And vice versa. With bullish patterns breaking to the downside and bearish patterns breaking to the upside, probabilities shift and it makes it hard to navigate. Right now, seeing as we need to be looking at traditional markets, first and foremost, the S&P 500 very clearly needs to get above resistance around 5,300, probably more, 5,400. We need to break that level. That's clear resistance from bull market support band. From horizontal resistance, it was a neckline level that we kind of were holding. In fact, it's somewhere between here and here. We need to break that level. And that's also where, a bunch of indicators are at this point in time. We broke down in the S&P 500 from a weekly chart RSI level, stemming backwards from October 2023. We did the same thing on the price chart, right? That white line stemming backwards from October 2023. There were big breakdowns in the S&P 500. But realistically, the big concern here on the S&P 500 is unemployment and traditional markets in general, and the threat of recession is the unemployment chart. Right, unemployment chart generally rounds out before surging to the upside, and when unemployment surges to the upside, 8 out of the last 11 occasions, it has led to a recession. So if you go back and see all of these points where unemployment has surged to the upside, 8 out of the last 11 data points has led to a significant recession, okay, where the markets, traditional markets, go downwards for at least a year, right? So that's the threat right now. Now, luckily, unemployment claims have come in bullish, right? And this is what's leading to this bounce. It's one of the leading factors for this bounce, especially today. We see, however, that even though this bounce is occurring, it's very important you don't get fooled. Again, we need to be focusing on the macroeconomy. I am not going to see, look, at the end of the day, there's going to be people sitting here on YouTube and they're going to tell you, now's the time to buy the dip. But the reality is, until we have clarity in the macroeconomy and traditional markets, this is not confirmed to be a dip. This could be the start of a recession. And we simply do not know. No one knows. I don't care what people say. I don't care if people say they're going to print up their way out of the problem. I don't care if people say they're going to force a recession. I don't care what they say. We don't know. Right? If we knew, we wouldn't be in a period of massive uncertainty. If we knew, Bitcoin would not be breaking below after 2 separate invalidation points, an indicator like the bull market support band, right? Which has been absolutely vital to every single period of macro cycles in the past. You would not see invalidations of that level to such a major regard if the market was clear, right? This kind of stuff just doesn't happen in a clear market environment. What I can say is that this bounce is strong. What I can say is that 47K held very well. We formed a new support line. At the end of the day, guys, how many support lines have we formed in the past and how many have broken? I mean, we're counting 3 or 4 of them by now. So I'm not really confident in any particular support line at this point. We are still, technically speaking, in a bullish structure for Bitcoin. There is still technically a broadening ascending wedge. However, right now, I will caution you that if you're planning on buying today, first and foremost, you're running into the argument I just laid out before, which is this is basically gambling. And second of all, you are running into buying at major resistance. We are not down at 52K anymore. We are up here at 59K. And what we do know is that this level between 61K and 58K is a major resistance zone that formed the bottom of this range in the past, right? We are testing that level now. Not only are we testing it, we are testing it in the structure of an ascending wedge formation, which is a bearish structure, which is likely, according to TA, which is being skewed right now, to break to the downside, right? So be very cautious if you're sitting here and you're saying, oh, this is a recovery, maybe I should buy. Just wait, even if you're not going to follow logic and just gamble, essentially, you can do what you want. It's up to you. But the fact of the matter is, if you're going to trust charts and you're going to say, oh, these bounces look very good, the charts look good, then you need to trust charts all the way. And you need to realize that this is a major resistance zone. And at least, waiting until that is broken would be the go-to. But for me personally, I have no interest whatsoever in investing in this market right now. I am not interested whatsoever. Again, I didn't sell everything. But 90% of my positions I sold. And I didn't own altcoins during this drop. I did not buy back into altcoins after the last drop. I didn't see the altcoin market as strong at all. I saw the total 3 cryptocurrency market cap as weak. It was at resistance. It rejected from resistance. It did not break to the upside. It bull market support band got rejected from. Horizontal line got rejected from. It is currently, just like Bitcoin, maintaining bullish structures in the medium-term time frame. It's maintaining a descending wedge formation, descending channel formation. It's maintaining a weekly chart ascending support line. There are strong signs for the TA, right? Again, the problem is not the TA. The problem is the macroeconomy. So until I see better signs in the macroeconomy, like, for example, even S&P 500 doing something, even the S&P 500 continuing to new highs, right? It would just be very clarifying, right? It would show me that, okay, the printing, the Federal Reserve printing money is back on the table rather than forcing a recession, because what we don't need to be seeing here, if we want to see markets go up, we need to see the Federal Reserve print money. That's what we need to see, quantitative easing on a pretty massive scale to avoid a recession. Now, what's interesting is that what we want for the markets might not be what's good for the world. I think what's good for the world might actually be a recession, quite frankly. I think if governments were going to be logical, and if central banks were going to be logical, what we need to do is probably force a recession, because the economy is just a joke at this point. And the last thing we need is more debt. But it's always been my sneaking suspicion that they're just going to keep this debt cycle going. They're just going to keep printing money, and they're going to pay back the debt with hyperinflated money and basically screw over the lenders and salvage the economy that way to some extent, and then jump ship and implement CBDCs. I think there's something like that that's possibly on the cards, but I think it really is impossible to know, and it's not something I want to talk about publicly too much on YouTube because I don't trust these platforms to not censor content like that personally. I think even what I said there might be too much. We'll see. Sue me. I don't really care. I'll if they shut me down for that, then everyone's getting shut down eventually, quite frankly. Right. So what I do know is that this TA right now is looking okay, but right now there is a blockade here at 61 to 60K. Even if you're looking at those levels and you're trusting the charts right now, those should be levels you need to get above. If we get back above those levels, we flip them for support, and the S&P is moving upwards as well, then we can consider changing our opinion and buying back with high risk buys. But again, I don't think this market is going to become low risk until we see clarity on macro and traditional markets in general. That's just my simple opinion. I think that's a fact. I don't even think that's my opinion. I actually genuinely think that's a fact. If you're acknowledging that this drop happened due to the macroeconomy, and you're acknowledging the macroeconomy has no more clarity than it had 3 days ago, then you can't disagree with that fact. Simple. So that's what I think about the market right now, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Again, check out the exchanges, BingX and BitGet. Sorry, BingX and Bitunix. BitGet, I've stopped advertising because of referral problems. The exchange is still fine. But Bitunix and BingX, my exchanges right now. My VIP group is down below as well. You can check it out if you want altcoin trading signals. I post 4 of them a week, right? There's 115 members there in the group chat, so you can discuss the market with those group chat members. They're all paying VIP members. We share charts in there. We discuss trades. We discuss the market 24/7. It's very useful stuff, but also the trading plans themselves are the main part of that content. We've got a 78.39% win rate in a transparent PDF document. Every single win, every single loss we've ever had on VIP is posted in there, so you can see our results. We don't hide our results. We're very proud of our results. It's all there. Check it out if you want altcoin trading plans. And finally, the last thing here is the Crypto Academy Become a Trader 10-unit course. If you want to learn how to trade, you want to learn how to do TA, you want to learn how to chart, you want to learn market analysis, you want to learn market psychology, a very important thing that's slept on quite a lot, you can check out this course here I developed in 2022 with my co-analyst Mega Whale Crypto, and we have it on sale right now. So it's a limited time, discounted price. If you want to learn about TA, this is where you can do it. Check it out. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you tomorrow with an update on the Bitcoin price action.